You know, I always try to seek truth, always try to talk truth in my videos. And this video right here is about Tupac truth. And it's for you to decide. What do you think? You know, was Tupac real? Was Tupac fake? Was Tupac an actor? Was Tupac a thug? I'm gonna let you decide. Watch the video. In my presentation, I present to you Tupac truth.
Now you tell me who won. I see them, they run. They don't want to see us. Whole Junior Mafia clique dressing up trying to be us. How the fuck they gonna be the mob when we always on our job? We millionaires. Killing ain't fair, but somebody gotta do it. Somebody gotta do it. Mob deep. You wanna fuck with us? You little young ass.
And rap music, the reason I've been successful in the rap game, I think, is that I treat my albums like movies, and I treat writing it like I'm a character writing a story, you know, for each album, whatever I'm going through, whatever stages I'm going through. And I do it vividly with vivid pictures, with action and description and a beginning, middle, and an end, and conflict and, you know, redemption and things like that. So I feel like I've always been an actor, and acting is my first love. I went to school of performing arts. I studied. I wanted to be an actor. But due to the poverty and the natural circumstances that stopped me, like being poor and homeless and all of that, I never got a chance to leisurely study acting with great teachers and, you know, fine-tune my craft. What I did do, though, was throw myself into the streets and learn as many experiences as I could. So now that I have the opportunity now to relax, exhale, and actually work on the craft, I have so many things to draw from, and it makes it where I'm comfortable now with this, where I wasn't doing those other movies. It was just like a hobby. Now I'm an actor, and I don't want anybody to take that from me and say, you're a rapper who's acting, because you would hardly pay me this, and you would hardly get these scenes that you're getting if I was a rapper just acting, you know what I mean, for the check. So I'm an actor. I just happen to rap on my spare time instead of being a waiter. So I'm an actor. I just happen to rap on my spare time instead of being a waiter. So I'm an actor. I just happen to rap on my spare time instead of being a waiter. So I'm an actor. I just happen to rap on my spare time instead of being a waiter.
Do you think part of the reason you've been so incredibly successful as a rap artist also is that you create, like, your songs create a complete character that you kind of put out there?
Yeah, I think that with my music, it's like watching somebody go through things my whole career. And I feel like it's like if James Dean was a rapper, it'd be me. You know what I mean? Or if Marilyn Monroe was a rapper, it'd be me. If the person who you can just watch go through crazy drama and just, you know, you could either cry, laugh, cheer, or whatever, but it's not happening to you, it's happening to them. And I'll tell you vividly, because I don't know that you're not supposed to tell people everything that happens in your life, so I just tell them. And that's what I think has made me successful, if anything.
And now has it become kind of like larger, you know, Bonnie was talking about like being with you on the set and reading the papers that you're out like doing stuff.
Yeah, and I'll be right there. Yeah, it is that. And that's what's, I guess, that's what's frustrating and aggravating, that I can't live down this big shadow that I made to protect myself. Because it started out as just being, I need to get an alter ego to keep people away from me and to protect myself, which everybody does.
Do you think he started living that persona a little bit?
Yo, let me tell you something, man. When I met Pac, he was
already like that?
No. Bishop introduced Pac to Tupac. Bishop introduced Pac to Tupac. Bishop introduced Pac to Tupac.
They're gonna fight us about it.
These Born Busy songs are not the best stuff that Tupac did. But you know, as a fan, it's really nice to hear his early years and where it all started.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it adds a lot of realness to, you know, to him and who he was. There's a side of him that people may not have known. You know what I mean? Because, you know, the thug shit happened, you know, just because of where we were. And it's like, okay, man, we have to adapt to where we are and what's going on. So the thug shit happened, you know, just because of where we were. And it's like, okay, man, we have to adapt to where we are and what's going on.
I can't live down this big shadow that I made to protect myself. I can't live down this big shadow that I made to protect myself. I can't live down this big shadow that I made to protect myself. Because it started out as just being, I need to get an alter ego to keep people away from me and to protect myself, which everybody does. You know, like when somebody breaks into your house and you know he's in the house, you wouldn't go in your real voice, excuse me, are you breaking in my house? You would go, hey, what you doing in my house? It's the same thing that I do, you know what I mean? If you're out in the wilderness and I'm just one sheep by myself, I wouldn't go, I want to say my next song, it's called, I would go, you know, woo, fuck the world, you know what I mean? And that's worked, you know what I mean? And not that it's like a total facade, it's me, but it's just blown up. And what the media does is, if you ever want to see anger, just he's the best actor in the world, and he'll show it to you. So that's what they do, and make it look like I'm just any guy in America when I'm an actor who's just playing this part so well that I look very angry. If you ever want to see anger, just he's the best actor in the world, and he'll show it to you. So that's what they do, and make it look like I'm just any guy in America when I'm an actor who's just playing this part so well that I look very angry. I feel like I've always been an actor, and acting is my first love. I went to school of performing arts. I studied. I wanted to be an actor. What I did do, though, was throw myself into the streets and learn as many experiences as I could. So now that I have the opportunity now to relax, exhale, and actually work on the craft, I have so many things to draw from, and it makes it where I'm comfortable now with this, where I wasn't doing those other movies. It was just like a hobby. Now I'm an actor, and I don't want anybody to take that from me and say, you're a rapper who's acting, because you would hardly pay me this, and you would hardly get these scenes that you're getting if I was a rapper just acting.
A bad boy as a staff, record label, and as a motherfucking crew. And if you want to be down with bad boy, then fuck you too. Chino X. Come on! Fuck you Bring it! All you motherfuckers, fuck you too.
Sound upset. Why do you sound so upset?
All of y'all motherfuckers, fuck you, die slow, motherfucker. My fofo make sure all y'all kids don't grow. You motherfuckers can't be us or see us. We motherfucking thug like riders, west side till we die.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Give him a round of applause. The Academy Award goes to the actor, Tupac Shakur. Give him a round of applause.
Because I remember when he was recording the album, his style, the way it changed, the way he's been growing in his style, or developing, which is what you're gonna do, especially when you're young and you get older. You get you get tighter as you get older. He back then he was rapping more all mellow. All his songs was mellow. I mean, he had songs like Brenda's Got a Baby, Words of Wisdom, and When My Homies Call, Part-Time Mother. All his songs were mellow and cool, like kind of like pop, trying to damn near like I'm trying to make everybody happy. But he had a couple hardcore songs, not really hardcore like gangster shit, just cussing at the world, but just kind of hard on his level. That was the Tupac that we was used to kick it with. That was, before he started. This is right when he was filming Juice, but he hadn't let the Bishop thing get to his like rap style yet. And that's what happened with Strictly for My Niggas when he decided to be, hardcore, because now here he is, having done this movie. Now he's a movie star and a rap star, and the star he played in the movie was the person that people in the your audience or whatever thought was kind of, damn, Bishop was cold, Bishop was crazy, So now Tupac, you was Bishop, what's up, Bishop? Now he's like hard now, and so he had to go with that role now all of a sudden, and even though that wasn't really him.
Everybody's frustrated and everybody's fed up, so it's not a very hard part to play.
Yeah, you created like something that was too good, but now they're
using it. I mean, I've made Bob Dole and Dolores Tucker into household names, along with some of the other rappers, and I've made a lot of people. I made politicians, figure out what it is they do for a living. You know what I mean? And that's good in a way, but it's bad in a lot of ways. We always wanted to spark debate. We always wanted to be noticed, but never wanted it to be this way. Where now all we've been shouting about all this time is better laws and more respect, and all this shouting, all this is doing now is getting laws changed so that we can't shout about it no more, and we get less respect anyway. So it's frustrating to see this demon that not only the media has created, but I've taken responsibility for helping to create that. But it's just like any full-blooded all-American guy. When you're in high school, you're the party animal, then you want to grow up. But what if you was in high school all your life and nobody wanted to see you go from the party animal to the student or the scholar? You know, it's just too much fun, because what it is they don't have a party animal who's as good as I am, who's as articulate and fun to watch and charismatic. You know what I mean? That's what they actually say, and that's how they actually feel. It's not me jocking myself, but that's how they feel. It's like, oh, he's the best villain, because at least we can hear what it is we don't like. He's saying it clear. But if you thought about it, I'm hardly the villain. I'm hardly the one you should be scared of. It's the guy that can't talk. It's the guy without a job. It's the one with scars on his face, not the one clean cut. You know what I mean? You should be worried about a lot of other things, but not me.
I made this video to address the fact that a lot of Tupac friends always said that thug image wasn't him. Tupac kind of confirmed that in this video. And you know, I never really saw Tupac as a thug, but more as a thug representer. A thug representative who holds political office and addresses thug culture. But you know, I asked, why did he feel he had to create a facade, no matter how small it was, to keep people from messing with him? Well, that didn't work. Who was these people he feared that would mess with him and be afraid of this thug image? That didn't work. I have to admit, Tupac confuses me a little. No, he confuses me a lot. And it seems as though he confused even himself and gotten kind of lost and off track in his life. I mean, well, none of us are perfect. We all do crazy shit, yeah. But our life always boils down to the choices we make. You can't act or fake a choice in real life. Tupac made some decisions in his life that put his life in harm's way. Getting arrested, going to prison. Some people say he was acting. I call it insanity, man. Maybe a bipolar type syndrome. His sister has bipolar disease, but I call it insanity. This is just my perspective. Who risks their life to act? That's completely insane. I mean, who goes to prison for acting? Who shoots people for acting? Who beats up gang members for acting? Who puts his life on the line in real life situations for acting a character? It's some insane shit. It's some bizarre shit. This video proves Tupac was the realest because he even admitted that he was faking. Now what sane person admits that they put on a facade and act that would totally confuse his fan base? I don't care how small of a facade he put on, it was a facade. No matter how small it was. Though he claimed it was him, but it was a facade at the same time also. That totally confuses his fan base. You know, the people that don't suck his dick. Now, I know people make suck his dick. They're going to always have some type of defense against Tupac. Stop sucking a man dick, man. I'm a Tupac expert. I'm not a Tupac dick sucker, okay? Tupac discredits himself in this video. In my opinion, he really discredits himself in this video. He didn't need to put on no facade ever. All he needed to be was himself. Now that's real.
So today I'm going to discuss a rapper by the name of Tupac Shakur. and this video will be heavily critical of Tupac and some of the behaviors and some of the antics that he engaged in. So, I would just like to issue a disclaimer. Despite all of these criticisms that I have of Tupac, I would still like to say that he is still indeed irrefutably one of the greatest rappers of all time, and I believe that he eloquently portrays the struggles of African Americans throughout ghettos in America with an emotion that has previously been unheard of in hip hop history and still has not been matched by this day by anybody. So while I acknowledge, the strengths and the greatness of Tupac, I am also critical of Tupac and some of the antics that he engaged in, such as his fake thug persona. Like, we have to acknowledge that Tupac was indeed a pseudo gangster, and this has been demonstrated very clear in his feud with who, in my opinion, is the greatest rapper of all time, and his name is Nasir Jones. Tupac and Nas had beef with each other, or rather, what I should say is Tupac had beef with Nas. At the end of his song entitled When Thugs Cry, Tupac goes on a 30-second angry, emotional rant about Nas, who was referring to him as all sorts of offensive names and is totally just beating down Nas, just angry, Tupac is just screaming at Nas. And the question we must ask ourselves is why? In a song called It Was Written, or in an album called It Was Written, Nas has a song entitled The Message, where Nas is rapping about a generic fake thug. Tupac, without any evidence, just assumed this song was about him, and it was not. Nas was just rapping about a generic fake thug. He just has one line, fake thug, no love, you get the slug. Tupac, for whatever reason, thought this song was about him and just got angry, went on a rant against Nas, and Nas is just like, chill, dog, I ain't got no beef with you, that song wasn't even about you. But this is how we know that Tupac was insecure about his thug status, because there are thousands of fake thugs running around America, and Nas was just describing, the generic fake thug and all the devious behavior that they represent, the facade that they're putting on, and Tupac just assumed this was about him, which shows that he was insecure about his thug status. But perhaps what is more damaging of one of the behaviors that Tupac engaged in was that he was actually inspired by Nas, but would not admit it. For example, there's a video where Tupac is saying that Nas, who is irrefutably one of the greatest rappers of all time, he's just referring to him as garbage and he's referring to him as whack. These are completely blasphemous statements. Any true scholar of hip hop knows that using the term whack and garbage to describe Nasir Jones is absolutely ridiculous, even if it comes out of the mouth of another hip hop legend, Tupac Shakur. It's still ridiculous and it's still totally unfounded. So Tupac is calling Nas garbage, but in the closet, Tupac was a Nas fan. And how do we know this? The Outlaws are Tupac's rap group. They were in the studio together, listening to Nas's album It Was Written. And there's a song on It Was Written entitled I Gave You Power, which is just a genius song where Nas is playing an anthropomorphized gun, where he's describing his life as a gun in the hands of thugs and criminals. And this song is just incredibly genius and it's incredibly gifted. It shows the profound talent that Nasir Jones. But Tupac, he also liked this song, according to the Outlaws, and it inspired him on a song that he made called Me and My Girlfriend, where now Tupac is talking about his girlfriend, and his girlfriend is his gun, and he's also playing that anthropomorphized gun, but that Nas did, but Nas originated the concept. So Tupac obviously was an admirer of Nas's music, and he obviously liked Nas's music. But in a video, he's like, "Yo, Nas, you a whack ass nigga, you a bitch, you all of these profane words." But in the closet, you were a Nas fan. Come on, Tupac. That's not. If you claim to be a real nigga, why are you engaging in these type of behaviors? But Nas, who is really a real nigga, Nas was cool about the whole situation. He made a tribute to Tupac after he's gone. He's like, Tupac, we had words because the best are supposed to clash at the top, but we kept it brotherly when we saw each other in NYC. Then he's like, Tupac, I can't believe I heard my name on the realest shit you ever wrote. So Nas, he was a man about the entire situation.